Hi everyone. So this is Nikash here. I'm back with a different problem today. So the problem name is course schedule second. This is one of the medium level lead code problem asked in Google or Facebook interviews. So you have been given two things as input. One is the number of courses and the prerequisites. So prerequisites are nothing but the courses what you have to finish before taking the next course. So, for example, if you want to finish a course 1, you need to make sure that you have finished course 0. Okay. Similarly, if you want to take course 2, then you need to make sure that you have already finished course 0. If you want to take up course 3, you need to make sure that you have finished course 1. And same thing for this. If you want to finish course 3, you need to make sure that you have finished course 2 as well. Okay. So in this case, the output would be something like this. If you can see, there's no 0 at the starting index, right? It means that 0 course doesn't have any prerequisites. So you can start by taking the course 0. So you take course 0. So once you take the course 0, the couple of options open up for you. So if you have taken up the course 0, then you can take either 1 or 2. So that's the reason we have two different outputs here. You can take either 1 or 2. So once you finish 1 or 2, then you have an option to do the second course. So let's say if you picked 1, you can do the course 2 next, or if you have finished course 2, then you can finish the course 1 next. So right now you have finished course 0, 1, 2. So if you see, there is only one pending, and for this the prerequisite is that you need to complete 1 and 2. So in this case you have completed 1 and 2, so you take up the course 3, or in this case you have completed 2 and 1, so you take up the course 3. So how do you solve this problem? So if you see the pattern, right? So to do some task, you need to make sure that some other previous task is done. So this falls in our graph category. So it's basically like traversing a graph. So if you want to visit a node and process it, you need to make sure that all its children are processed before. So same way in this case, we would turn this prerequisite into edges of a graph and then traverse it by entering into the queue one by one. Okay. So for example, we'll take an array prerequisite which should be size of n is equal to 4 here, because the number of courses is 4. Okay. The same would be the size of the order. So these are result, what will be returning result array, and we'll take a queue data structure as well. So basically our logic contains three main steps. The first step is store the prerequisites. Basically in this prerequisites array, you need to make sure that you store number of prerequisite you need to complete for taking this course. So for taking the zeroth position, the zeroth course, you don't have any prerequisite. So you don't store anything. So for taking the course number 1, you need to make sure that you need to finish the zeroth course, right? So you increment this to 1. Then if you see 2, so we have processed this one, next you go with this. So to finish 2, you have one prerequisite. So you add 1 to it. See, if you see this one, to finish course 3, you have to finish course 1. So that's one prerequisite. And then if you see again, to finish 3, you need to make sure that you have finished 2 as well. So we increment our prerequisite count for course 3 as 2. So these are nothing but the edges of the graph. Okay. So now you start traversing the prerequisite array and make sure that whichever code doesn't have any prerequisite, you just add them to the queue and to our result as well. So if you start traversing from left to right here, if you see the prerequisite for course 0 is 0, or it doesn't have any prerequisite. So at that time you just add this to our result 0 and add it to queue as well. So this is the front and this is back. Okay. So now and every other course has a prerequisite, so you don't do anything. So now we start a loop until our queue is empty. So store the prerequisites, which we did in this, add to queue with 0 prerequisites. So in this case, only 0 was the course which didn't have any prerequisites. So we added that 0 here in the order, which is order array, which is our result, as well as in the queue. Okay. So now we do the third step, process all courses from the queue. So in this case, we first take the course which is at the front of the queue and pop it out. So next we need to check in the given input if we have any courses which are dependent on this course. So when we have already inserted the course 0 in order, which means we have already taken up that course and completed it. So if we have any other courses which are dependent on this one as a prerequisite, we can take those. So now we go and scan through our input prerequisites pairs and see if there are any codes which are dependent on this. So we have completed 0. So once you scan, you get to know that you can complete course 1 and course 2 because you've already taken course 0. So you add both of them. You can add 2 after 1 or you can add 1 after 2. Okay, so you know that you can take these 2 courses because you've already completed 0. You also make sure that you decrement the count for course 1 and course 2 from your prerequisite edges array. So in this case, this becomes 0 because we have inserted once, and this becomes 0 as well. So as soon as it becomes 0, you need to make sure that you need to add these to the order array. Okay, so right now we add 1 because there are no more prerequisites for the course 1, and we can see that there are no more prerequisites for course 2 as well. So we'll add that 2 as well, and we start popping more numbers from the queue. So in this case, we'll pop out 1. So now we go and check in our input if we have any courses which are dependent on 1. So if you see there is this course 3 which is dependent on 1. So what we do is we decrement the count from 2 to 1. It means we have already completed one of the courses, and we pop this out, right? The next course what we have is 2. So we make 2. We take the course 2 and pop that from the queue. So now we go and check if there's any course dependent on this course. So we can see 3 is the only course left which is dependent on 2. So we decrement this count from 1 to 0. So as soon as the count becomes 0, it means we have processed all the prerequisites and now we are ready to take up this course. So in this case, we just add that to our output array. Okay, so if you can see, this is the order 0, 1, 2, 3, and this is one of the solutions what we wanted, and this is similar to graph problem. Please go through the logic and go through the code and try solving this by yourself. This is one of the important questions as well. So if you want me to solve any different question, please let me know in the comment section below. Or if you have any inputs or concerns regarding this solution, please we can discuss that in the comment section below as well. And until next time, keep learning every day. Please do like, share and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram. The link is in the description below. Thank you. Bye-bye.